So all of my veggie plants have just arrived. Now it's time to get filling up our raised bed planter for the season. If you didn't catch my video on how I actually fill up the raised bed planter, go check the description below for a link to that video. I offer a nice little trick that can save you money when filling up your raised beds so that you can do it the most effectively possible. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how I'm actually planting it out so that I can get the nicest bounty and utilize this space as well as possible according to what veggies I want to grow and which veggies my wife wants to be eaten as well. So I gotta say, I'm super stoked at my raised bed planter this year. It looks nice and strong and sturdy and should definitely support an awesome harvest, a bounty of fruit and veg. And if you're in the market for a raised bed planter, tomato cages, soils, you'll find links to all of these different awesome accessories to your plant material down in the description below. But let's see what I'm actually going to be growing this season. So like many of us, tomatoes will be the stars of the show. I have these two guys right here. These are they're called the Early Girl Plus tomatoes. It's like a beef steak style tomato. And you can start with plants that are quite small. They're gonna grow really rapidly. You don't need to buy big plants when you're starting tomatoes. Start small, save some money in that respect. Then I'm gonna be growing a couple of, they're called mini-me cucumbers. They only get maybe 24 inches tall, and they're small little Persian cucumbers, so these should be really great. And I'll have these climbing on that central trellising section. I have a couple of peppers, 4 peppers to be exact, and these are called the ponky peppers. They produce sweet little peppers that, munching sizes, and they will actually turn colors throughout the season, so I'm interested to see how those grow. Then I'll be underplanting with some strawberries and a couple of marigolds. Now truly, the only trick when it comes to planting up any of the veg is with our tomatoes. Of course, you want to use really high quality potting mixes, raised bed mixes that's nice and rich. And when you're digging your hole, normally you plant plants so that the top of the soil line is flush with your container, but with tomatoes, we're actually going to go deeper. Generally, I like to plant up until that first set of leaves, and I will plant up until about right here. Now, why we do that, you will actually get roots that grow out of the stems of the tomato, and that's going to really help to anchor your tomato plant into the soil so that as it grows, it has a nice, thick, and sturdy stem. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what cotyledons are, they're the first set of leaves, but they're false leaves. The seedlings of any plant will send up 1 or 2 cotyledons, and they allow the plant to quickly grab energy from the sun to embark on photosynthesis so that they can start to create the true leaves, which in the case of a tomato looks like this. So really, we don't need these with a tomato. Normally, I would just leave them on other plants, but I'll take these off. And then, just like before, plant it nice and deep. Just like that. And as you can see, the tomato cages I use are hefty and super strong. It's extremely important with tomatoes. They don't need a ton of soil space necessarily, but they always need really good support. When it comes to cucumbers, they also need to be climbing up something. That's why I have this middle trellis. And I'm going to be planting my cucumbers just a couple inches outside. And unlike those tomatoes that I dipped down deeper, I'm going to plant these and make sure they're nice and flush with that original soil line. You do not want to plant these any more deeply. But as you can see, I have it nice and close to this trellis. Actually, what I'm going to do, change my mind, I'm going to plant it over here so it's a little bit closer to the left side. And then on the back side, I will do the same over here. And that way, as these start to grow, I'll have one that kind of grows up the left side or right side, and this one grows up the other side, so they both have ample space to utilize the trellis. Now, I might be getting a little overzealous by planting 2 peppers over here, but they also do stay relatively small, only about 24 inches tall. So they should be able to fit in this corner. You can see this guy already has one growing on it, nice and beautifully. And I will just plant them like I did those cucumbers, nice and flush. And I also am glad that I have these big structures for the tomatoes because they will also add some support for our peppers as well. The great thing about these large cages that are really strong, they were not cheap, but I will be able to use them for many years. So invest in some good ones so that you can not have to worry about your tomato stakes or trellis structure falling over as your tomato plants get larger and larger. It's the last thing you want to have to worry about. And then I'll do the same over here, except for I thought I had 4 peppers and 2 cucumbers, but I actually have 3 and 3. So that's the way it goes. I will plant the pepper on the southern side of this because they take longer to grow. So in terms of when you can be expecting harvests, cucumbers will absolutely be the first, tomatoes will be second, peppers will be third. And then like I mentioned, I do have some strawberries and I'll just do a little bit of underplanting because the strawberries don't take up a lot of space. And with the strawberries, I'm just kind of filling in any of the empty areas. But I know there won't be a lot because these tomatoes are going to get big and they're going to be definitely taking up some room. And last but not least, I have 4 marigolds just to plant. There's the old wives' tale that these will help keep critters away. I don't know if that's true or not, but I figure may as well get them in, provide a little floral fascination at the same time. The good thing is the flowers will definitely attract pollinators, which is essential. And the last thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to add about a 2-inch layer of wood chips to the top. This is going to help to really lock in moisture into our soil. That's going to minimize the amount of time, frequency that we need to be watering our veggies, which is hugely important. I have lots of videos espousing the benefits of using wood chips, including the video where I actually fill up my raised bed planter. I go pretty deeply into it. So I'm going to just lay a nice little layer just on top. And I will make sure not to encroach on the stems of the plants with the wood chips. I will definitely give like I don't know, 1/2 inch to 1 inch around the perimeter of the stems. All right, well there you have it, all planted up. Nothing fancy, nothing special, nothing out of this world. Pretty classic, and that's exactly what I want this summer. I hope you guys found this video helpful, maybe it gave a little bit of inspiration. I'll be continuing to film it all summer long, so make sure you subscribe, like this video so that you can, and consider clicking that little bell icon to get notifications so that you'll know when I'm posting my next videos, including showing off how these are maturing and growing and how I am harvesting. Anyways, thanks for joining me here on Plant Vibrations. I'll catch you soon. Ciao.